Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. It's new reviews day, new review day, new release day here on the channel. Finally getting around to one I've been talking about for a number of weeks. I finally had time to spend with it because it is a 3-disc set. A lot of music to take in, even though some of it I was familiar with, some I'm not. It's by Impellitteri, the band led, of course, by guitarist, shredder, extraordinaire Chris Impellitteri. Wake the Beast, the Impellitteri Anthology. 3-disc set chronicling some of the best material from the many, many albums of Impellitteri. And Chris and company have a lot of albums. There's at least like 15 or more, may even be more than that. There's been a million people coming and going in this band. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. I don't know. I guess it's culling from all of these albums, which, as you can see, that's 11. I believe they have more than that, or maybe there's 11 full length and then a bunch of EPs, something like that. If you look at the whole list, there's quite a lot of them. And again, 3 discs, and then on the back, you've got all the track lists for each CD. And if you kind of pick up each disc, there is the track list for that CD, and it also tells you what album it comes from, each song comes from. So now, for me, I remember I first got into Impellitteri with his 1987 Impellitteri album. That was the first time I was exposed to his playing, and at the time I was a huge Yngwie Malmsteen fan, so Chris Impellitteri came also doing kind of like the neoclassical thing, but he always proclaimed to be even faster than Yngwie, and his solos were really, really fast. I think by today's standards, I don't really, listening to this whole collection a couple times, like, well, not quite as fast as some guys that kind of came after him in various different genres, like not so much metal and neoclassical shred and all that sort of thing. But I've heard some fusion guys who are way faster and a little bit more precise than Impellitteri. But for the time, this guy was. I was pretty mind blown the first time I heard him. But the album I think that really got him a lot more acclaim to not just guitar players was the second album from '88, Stand in Line, because he joined up with Graham Bonnet. So Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz was pretty much fizzled out at this point in time, so Chris and Graham joined up. It very much sounded like an Alcatraz album, right? Funny enough, only 2 songs from the Stand in Line album on here, which I think is very, very odd, seen as that I think was the most notable lineup of the band. But anyway, speaking of lineups of the band, so right now, I guess today, the current members of Impellitteri is Chris, obviously, on guitars, James Emilio Pooley on bass, Rob Rock on lead vocals. Okay, yes, that Rob Rock, well-traveled Rob Rock. He has been in the band. He's had various stints in the band, but he's been a pretty regular vocalist since 2008. He also was with the band very, very early on, and Patrick Johansson on drums. But also in the band over the years, I'll list some names. You may or may not recognize a lot of these guys. Graham Bonnet, Mark Weitz, Curtis Skelton, Ted Days, Chuck Wright, Dave Spitz, Loney Silva, Pat Torpey, Stet Howland, on various instruments and things. Ken Mary, great drummer. Mark Bistany, Phil Wolf, Claude Schnell, keyboards. Ed Roth, keyboards. Glenn Sobel, Brandon Wild, John Deddy. Lots of different guys over the years. So again, like I mentioned, you have 3 discs on here. Pulls songs from all these albums, not a lot from, there's samplings from each album, but some albums are more well represented than others. Like I said, I would have liked to have heard a few more tracks from the Stand in Line album. You just get the 2, you just get the title track and Secret Lover. But there's some just face-melting stuff on here. It's surprising not really listening to the older Impellitteri stuff, because I had those on LP or cassette back in the day. I never replaced any of them on CD, so it's been quite a long time since I've heard some of this stuff. And how heavy much of this material is. It's just, there's lots of guitar solos, sure, but these are metal songs. Pedal to the metal songs, crunchy stuff, speed metal-y stuff. There's some neoclassical blazing on here, of course, but, a lot of really strong, potent, heavy metal vocals, loads of guitar solos, but Impellitteri, Chris was always a really good rhythm guitar player too. So there's crunchy and intricate riffs all over the place on here. Again, you got a boatload of tracks. You've got 33 in total. So I'm not going to go and pick out some. I mean, there's 17th century chicken picking is loads of fun. Victim of the System is really good. Warrior's a great track, really really heavy. What else? What else? Hungry Days is a cool song. Texas Nuclear Boogie. I don't know. A lot of really cool stuff on here. Is any of this like going to change the face of metal? Probably not. But if you're really into like 80s and 90s, very solid guitar-centric heavy metal with virtuoso guitar solos, speed-of-light guitar solos, super crunchorama riffs, and like over-the-top histrionic vocals, and a couple tracks with Graham Bonnet. I think you'll dig this. Rob Rock is a really good singer. I always liked his vocals. He's on a bunch on here, so if you like hearing him, it's really good. It'll be really good to check this out. So yeah, I mean, this is a really good compilation. If like I said, if you don't want to go out and buy all the old Impellitteri albums, like I said, there's a lot of them, and you want kind of like a sampling from all of them, Wake the Beast is the way to go. This is available on Global Rock Records. Okay, so check it out. Impellitteri Wake the Beast, the Impellitteri Anthology. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Thanks for watching. We should have some more of these coming up for you today, so stay tuned. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And also, please do hit that like button before you leave. And we also have the links down below in the video description to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations and the Sea of Tranquility merch site, which has loads of great t-shirts, hats and hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs, all that good stuff. A lot of different designs. So collect one, collect them all. And that link is below as well. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.